everyone, and welcome to North Texas Talks with Jim Austin and Anita High School. I'm Anita High School.
And I'm Jim Austin.
Awesome. So thank you all for joining us this morning on North Texas Talks. We talk with people all around the North Texas community, talking about things that they do. And we also go out and talk to people all over the United States. So we want you to join in with us every Thursday morning at 10:30 for North Texas Talks with Jim Austin and Anita High School.
That's right. That's right. You summed it up. And it's every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
At 10:30. Tune us in, share. And we are here at the Jim Austin Studios, 2201 Dottie Lynn Parkway in Fort Worth, 76120, Suite 139. And the coffee is always hot and free bottle of water if you just stop by. So don't go to 7-Eleven. Come by the Jim and Anita Austin studio.
That's right. Come and see us and get a cup of hot coffee and a bottle of water.
Boy, you've been working me today. You know, you've been working me.
It's been a long day, but Jim, I want to thank you for having me here hosting this podcast with you. We've been talking about this for a while, and I didn't realize that we would end up hosting a podcast together, but it has been a joy, and I am certainly enjoying myself.
Well, I was getting ready to hire my attorney to come bring you in to do a podcast of your own. And then when you came over, timing is everything.
Timing is everything.
And we just decided that we were just going to take over North Texas Talks.
And do it together.
And we've been having fun.
We've been having a great
time. And sharing information that the community can use.
Yes, and information that they need. And we have a very special guest today.
Very special.
Very special. And this is someone that you met and you actually told me about her. And I said, hey, why don't we have her on?
Right.
We need to have her on our podcast.
Well, let me tell you how I met her and her posse. You know, there's three of them.
Yeah. Okay.
USC.
Okay.
And you know, USC, you know, when you say USC, you're talking about real strong sisters. So I've had the pleasure to do a podcast with them. Had the pleasure that one of them lives here in the area.
Right.
And they're doing some amazing things. So to have Trisha on the line that, you know.
And that's why we have Trisha here, because we want to talk to her. And Trisha is the founder and CEO of WORKHERO. So I'm really interested in hearing a little bit more about it, but Trisha's got a lot going on. She holds a BA in psychology from the University of Southern California. She's got an MA in clinical psychology from Pepperdine University, and she has over 10 years of work experience in the private and public sector. So Trisha, thank you for being here with us today. And
thank you so much for having me.
Jump right in. And what I want to know is you've worked for about 6 years as a therapist. So tell us a little bit about that, but also give us some information about WORKHERO and tell us what WORKHERO actually is.
Yeah, okay, let's start with it. First of all, I'm really, really happy. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on. Jim has been amazing. And even in the few conversations that I've had with you, Anita, I've really learned a lot, actually. I love the way you articulate yourself. It's so prim, poised, and proper, which totally aligns with your brand. It's all very on brand. So yeah, I mean, that's my educational background, but my partners, my WORKHERO partners, they are co-founder Jasmine Pablo and Chief Branding Officer January Swiderski. That is who Jim refers to as the posse.
I'm telling you, boy, when I met January, I said, she does marketing. I said, they sent the right one to kind of warm and smooth Jim up, you know? So I said, look, I'm big fans with WORKHERO. And they're writing for the magazine.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah, they're submitting an article and keeping us up on what they do.
Okay, and so Trinity's going to fill us in on all of that, right?
So I have an MA in clinical psychology, and I did see clients in private practice for about 6 or so years, I believe, seeing clients with a variety of issues, depression, anxiety, but ended up seeing a lot of clients who also had work-related crises and issues. But at that time, like in my career, that wasn't really something that I was necessarily interested in exploring. And I ended up joining the Department of Justice, and I worked there
Mhm.
for 8 years as an analyst. And I also dealt with a lot of workplace violence threats and issues. And over time, just the bureaucracy of being in the federal government, the 9 to 5, I started to become quite miserable.
Mhm.
And it was very, there were some great moments, some great people, some great mentorship, but there were also a lot of problems, and they were things that were really stressing me out, and what I felt was like making me like unduly miserable. And then, you get together with your friends who are other professionals, and everyone's like, yeah, this is just how it is. Work sucks. Um, work sucks. People suck. And, you just have to deal with it because it's pretty much like that everywhere you go. There's never going to be freedom from how awful things can be, from
Mhm.
politics to unfair workloads to all of that. You're never going to get away from that. And so I just started kind of dreaming up while I was at the DOJ of like, well, if I could be saved from what is going on here, what would I like that to look like? And that's how I came up with the idea of Work Hero. And so the idea initially was to be very employee focused, because it was like, well, I'm an employee. I've been in leadership roles, but I'm an employee first. So who would save me, and how would they do that? And I
Mhm.
was talking to Jasmine, who's a friend of mine from USC, who I've known for years and years. And I was telling her that I had created Work Hero, I had a business plan, I had all these ideas. And she was getting a master's in HR management from USC at the time. And she said, this is like a lot of human resources stuff, and you're actually missing a whole side of your business that could be really good for you. Like, did you know that you're like not even speaking at all to organizations? You're only talking to employees. And I'm like, no, I did not know that, because my background is not in human resources. I know some things, but obviously not what you know. And she said, I would love to partner with you and come in on this, because there's an opportunity here to really build this up and be impactful for people. Because ultimately, you know, nobody wants to go to work every day and feel like they're in a war zone, and then the only option is for you to quit. There are ways out of the trenches, which is what became a central
Mhm.
sort of messaging for Work Hero, is that, hey, there's ways out of workplace trenches. The trenches affect everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a frontline employee or if you're a manager, but Work Hero has been developed to illuminate the path forward. And here's how we're going to do that. We're going to do that in an innovative way through the program offerings that we have. So we decided to try to move away from like a typical consultancy and be ourselves and be real, and obviously leverage our personal and professional and academic experience to create a really, really dope ass company, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm going to tell you, this just sounds amazing because, like you said, so many people are so unhappy in what they're doing. And I mean, this is just a great resource for them. And I was reading, and you were talking about DEIB, and you were saying that plenty of the organizations are actively avoiding it
Yeah,
um, because they believe it hurts the bottom line. What do you
right.
think about that? What is that about?
I think it's really so. One of our program offerings that we have is a DEIB conversation series. And the reason we developed a conversation series is because we thought that DEIB training was boring and burnt out and not doing anything for helping anyone, because there was no end impact. It was just like a check the box. And so with the DIB initiatives and companies moving away from it, we think it's because that acronym DEIB has
Mhm.
become synonymous with race. That's it. When we're talking about DEIB, that's all we're talking about. And Work Hero knows that's not true. When we're talking about DEIB, we're actually talking about 7 other cultural identifiers that people either don't know about, well, usually don't know about or aren't aware because they're so focused on race. So we're talking about age, we're talking about ethnicity, we're talking about socioeconomic status, religion, gender, sexual orientation. These are all identifiers within DEIB that impact people's workplace experience and can make things a lot harder for a lot of people. It could be something as, hey, I'm a boomer and my manager is almost Gen Z. They're so young that this feels so imbalanced and it's really hard for me to respect them.
Wow.
And that creates conflict in the workplace. So Work Hero is saying, hey, let's deal with that. Let's talk about that because all of these issues affect the bottom line. If you have older folks in the workplace who are feeling resentful, they don't like what they're doing. Maybe they're just up and quitting, but they're not transferring that knowledge to the people behind them. So what does that do for everybody? It makes it really hard. It makes it hard to be an employee there when you don't have anyone you feel like you can learn from it makes it hard for everybody. So Work Hero is kind of thinks, hey, it's a shame that we're moving away from DEIB because race is not all it is. And we've gotten so burnt out on talking about it that people forgot that, hey, there's other things that make up a person. And so Work Hero is really passionate about that. We really enjoy what we do in that aspect.
Wow. I mean, that's a lot, because, one of the things when I finished school at the great Howard University, HBCU, is that I went into the corporate employment. I joined American Express for 5 years. And, the corporate element of doing business is so powerful. So the business that you're doing, Work Hero, is what a lot of these corporations need and what you're bringing to the forefront, because diversity and all the things that these governors are trying to stop, I think that there'll be a lot of people that could need your service, particularly with corporations. And y'all were telling me about an account you just got last week. I mean, your business is growing.
Yeah, we're really excited about it.
It's
going to help get the word out.
It's going to help get the word out. So
yeah, we're really excited about it because we love a challenge.
Yes.
And we primarily, obviously, our experience mostly working, especially mine, has been operating in predominantly white and male environments. There's not really a ton of women around, and it's hard to find your place and it's hard to find your voice. So anytime we come into a situation that's very similar to what we were in, it's honestly exciting to us. We understand that there's a lot of drama and people are unhappy and everything, but we know that, hey, there's a way out of this. And a running joke at Work Hero is we never want to show up anywhere like, hi, here's 3 Black women to tell you all what you're doing wrong. We never want to show up like that. And we don't show up like that, which is great, which is why I think companies respond so well to us. It's because we are who we are. We don't show up like that. It's not who we are, what we're about. Showing up and trying to tell people, here's what's wrong. No, we want to show up and provide people support and provide people education. And like I said, illuminate the path forward out of the trenches, because I'm sure, as you both know, we're having work experience. When you're in the trenches, it is horrible. And it can really wreak havoc on your personal life, your professional life, whatever goals you may have. It makes things really hard. So, for example, with Work Hero, we have a professional health and wellness series where we deal with that each quarter and provide employees coping skills and education around issues like workplace anxiety, workplace depression, gossip at work. What's the difference between gossip and venting? And how do we know when we cross the line? Like, how do we know when we're getting close to it? And so Work Hero likes to be that vehicle, like, hey, gossip at us. Do that on your own time with us, because we are now part of this company. And we use that information we get, gossip, venting, however it's been categorized, doesn't matter to us. We use that information to facilitate change in organization. If everybody's gossiping about the same thing, well, what's really going on here? And then that gives us the space to look into it, without making employees feel like we are throwing them under the bus or we're telling HR what they said. No way. Like, redact, redact, redact. Look, we have a problem with um, this multi-generational workforce. No one likes this boss that's 90 years old. Okay, let's talk about why. Here's why, and I am not making it up. This is why, because this is what we've been told. This is what we continue to be told. These are the issues that your employees are speaking to us about, or that leadership is speaking to us about. So holding that space for organizations to vent, say what's on their mind. Here's the problems. We need to fix this. We are just really passionate about doing that and have gotten really, really good at it. So.
Well, my question is, well, my statement is, this is some great information. And I mean, I think the work that you guys are doing is amazing and it's something that is needed. But I want you to tell me, Trisha, why do you think WorkHero is so effective and why does it work?
Well, WorkHero works for a lot of reasons, but primarily because we are so adaptable. We're adaptable and we customize every single thing that we do depending on whatever organization that we work with. And with being adaptable and customizable, we're really running parallel to the one constant in business, which is accelerating change. And so because we're running parallel with that, when we partner with these companies and we're providing employees support and we're making, meaningful change, we are able to identify and understand that if we don't have this designed into the organization, the way that you guys respond to accelerating change, then everyone's going to find themselves in the trenches. Okay. And that's usually the point in which organizations come to WorkHero anyway. They usually come. I mean, no one comes to WorkHero when things are going well, right? That's not our business. They don't come to us when things are going well. Come to us when things are going bad, or they're on the brink of falling off of the cliff. And so we're effective because we understand all of these things and we can say, hey, this process or this system within your organization needs to be fully renovated, needs to be fully redesigned. And here's why. You're not giving any consideration to XYZ, but it's more than just write them a report and kind of get on the way like a typical consultancy. It's actually for us to hang around and make sure that it's implemented and provide everybody support in doing that. And so when you run into problems in the implementation, okay, great, let's tweak it. Let's try this rollout again until we get it right. So we're so committed to delivering excellency and being consistent. And that's really what makes WorkHero work.
How many employees is typical of a company that you would try to do business with? And then tell us how, if someone wanted to reach out to you, what is your website? What's the phone number that they would reach out to?
So we actually do not have a typical because we're a typical employee range, because honestly, that's one of the things I love about WorkHero that we've been established ourselves is that we're for everybody. So whether you're super small business, you're mid-sized, you're larger, we're here for everybody. So no typical, I mean, we have clients in like variety of industries, private equity firms, health insurance, a variety of different industries, which is also nice because we get to learn about those industries, which is great in the process, because it's really hard to design solutions when you don't really understand like the industry and what's going on and like what matters to people and like what makes people unhappy. So we're for everybody. So no typical answer on that. And website, you can go to our website at www.work-hero.com. And you can also find on there a lot of our blogs. We have a lot of tips for professional health and wellness, how to deal with workplace bullying, how to deal with a micromanaging boss, how to deal with, maybe being a woman of color in leadership role, stress associated with that. So a lot of helpful tips and information on there. And you can reach us at info@work-hero.com.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm so excited that y'all have agreed to be one of the writers for my new online virtual magazine. So
We're
that's
so
probably,
excited. We're so excited. We definitely decided how we are going to, what we're going to put out. We have so many articles and so many blogs already on LinkedIn. We really want to do something different for your magazine. So we've got a couple different drafts going right now that we're super excited. We really want people to actually, frontline employees, leadership, reach out to us because we want to partner and we want to make things better and get people out of the trenches.
Well, you're doing a great job, and with your information, your phone number, website, all of that, we will post all of that when you're on the Jim Austin online. We'll do all of that so people will be able to get in touch with you. I'm going to tell you, Trisha, this conversation has been amazing because organizations like this, a lot of people don't know that you exist. You know, they have issues, but they don't know you exist. And this is just the platform for you to get out there and let people know, hey, we're here to help. And this is what we can help you with. And I love what you said about how you guys show up. You know, we don't show up with you thinking, you know, this is what you're doing wrong or whatever. Because remember, it's always about that first impression, right? It's always about that first impression. So you're going in there letting them know, hey, whatever it is, WORKHERO, hey, we're here to help you fix it, right?
Exactly. And we're excited. We're excited to help you fix it. And we're excited to shine a light on things that maybe these organizations haven't considered, like workplace violence programs and threats and insider threats and concerns, which is a program that I developed for WORKHERO based on my professional experience at Department of Justice with threat assessment and threat management. And we feel just really proud of that program because it's about empowering and it's about educating and it's about essentially saying to people, hey, look, you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And we're here to help you do that.
I mean, I think it's great. And then my last question for you, Trisha, before we sign off is, you guys, do you work with people everywhere? Do they have to be in a certain area or can it be anywhere?
It can literally be anywhere because just like we're on this podcast and you guys are in Texas and I'm here, it can be anywhere. If we're in the same state, we, love to show up in person. But also, a lot of employees are busy and they don't want to be bothered. And we get that. So it's like, hey, if you just want to sit down and, with your computer and eat a sandwich and have a nice coffee and be off camera and listen to what Trisha DuVivier and WORKHERO has to say, wonderful. We'll accommodate that too.
Yes.
Hey, thank you. I think we're out of time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
It has been a full conversation. And Trisha DuVivier, I had to say, I love it. And I just wanted to make sure I got it correct.
Thank you.
Trisha, we want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for this great information that you've given us about WORKHERO. We will post the information along with this podcast about how people can reach out to you. And we just want to thank you. We know, we're on a 2-hour time difference. You're in California and we're here in Texas. So we want to thank you for making it work and making it happen for us. And thank you once again being here with North Texas Talks with Jim Austin and Anita High School.
We'll let you know when it'll run and make sure you let all your friends know about Jim Austin and Anita High School.
Of course, those names are going on the spreadsheet.
And Trisha, thank you so much. And you have a great evening. And we are signing off with North Texas Talks. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.